If you visit Kenya and you say you are bored, I'm sorry, but that might actually be your fault. Because when I first got to Kenya, I thought I was just going on a normal trip. But the more I explored, the more I realized that this city actually has so much personality. There is always something happening. There is the market, the food spots, wildlife, adventure activities, and if you have the right people showing you around the city, it even becomes more interesting for you. I spent some time exploring different parts of Kenya, and during that time I tried a lot of things. Some were adventurous, some were relaxing, some were honestly just me exploring out of curiosity. So in this video, I want to share some of my favorite things I did while visiting Kenya, not in a rushed way, but more like I'm sitting down telling you about my experiences that actually made my trip memorable. Some of these places surprised me, some of them made me laugh, and some of them honestly made me stop and think, wow, honestly, this place is beautiful. But before we get into that, hi, if you are new here, my name is Ami and I create lifestyle, travel, and storytelling videos, content where I share my real experiences. So if you enjoy travel stories, relatable moments, and discovering new places, you probably enjoy this channel. Of course you will. Let's start with Nairobi because that's where most people start their Kenyan experience. I mean, when I first arrived, the energy of Nairobi immediately reminded me of Lagos a little bit. Busy, alive, people moving around, but also very beautiful. So one place that really surprised me was Museum of Illusions. Yes. When I saw about the place, I'm like, okay, cool, it's a museum. But when you enter the place, your brain actually starts malfunctioning. In the room, there are some places you look extremely tall and then the next person will be very tiny. There were mirrors everywhere. You can literally see your beautiful self all over the places. And then puzzles that will make you question if your brains are actually working. Yes, it's actually the kind of place where you start laughing because nothing makes sense. Then I visited the Maasai Market. And let me tell you something. If you love culture, colorful things, arts like I do, this place will finish your money. They have handmade jewelries, handbags, hats, clothes, everything is so vibrant. But one thing nobody warned me about was that you will just go there thinking you are just going for sightseeing. The next thing you know, you just carry more bags. Just be ready to bargain because they are very good at convincing you to buy things. Then the Two River Mall. This one is fun vibe. This was another place I went to and I actually enjoyed this because it was just very relaxing, very big. Like, they have games, rides, food, fun, everything you want to shop there. It's one of the places you can spend hours without even realizing how fast the time is going. And being one of the biggest malls in East Africa, there are so many things to do there. I repeat, there are so many things to do there. Just have your money, try out all the games there, shop, eat, try out everything. I mean, this place is giving very strong, let's just relax and have fun energy. But then I think one of the moments I'll never forget in Nairobi was visiting the Giraffe Center. Because feeding the giraffes sound cute in theory, but when the giraffe is actually standing in front of you and stretched its neck towards you, you start asking yourself a very serious question. Honestly, it was such a beautiful experience. I'm not even going to lie. At first, you'll be a little nervous. I mean, I was, because I was literally holding the animal's food and it will just stretch its neck to collect it from your hand with a slimy tongue. And then after I realized how calm and gentle they were, honestly, standing there so close to such a beautiful animal made me appreciate nature in a completely different way, because it's not every day you get to interact with wildlife like that. So if you are visiting Nairobi, this is definitely one of those experiences you should try. Then there is Sunrise Game Drive at National Park. One of the most unforgettable mornings of my trip happened at Nairobi National Park because we had to wake up early. When I say early, I mean the kind of early that you are still wondering if this is even worth leaving your bed. But once we arrived, the sun started coming out, everything changed. There is something calm about seeing animals in their natural environment. I mean, when the sky is already slowly changing, you will see them walking along the grass. Everything feels calm. What surprised me most was this park is actually so close to the city. So you are literally seeing wildlife while the skyline of Nairobi is not too far away. And that contrast was so fascinating to me. It felt like two worlds existing side by side, city life and wild nature. So after I got my mind blown at the Giraffe Center and Museum of Illusions, I decided to get a little cultural and historical, because a trip isn't complete without learning a little something about where you are, right? That was when I visited the National Museum of Kenya. Now I have to say, this museum is huge and it's not one of those boring look at dusty things places. You have exhibits about history, wildlife and arts. There is literally something for everyone, and the best part, they have the snake park inside there. A whole park dedicated to snake. Now let me tell you, my first reaction was, okay, I see you Nairobi, trying to test my courage. But being there was actually fascinating. Some of the snakes were huge and they were also different. The color, the shape, you start noticing details you never thought about. And then just walking around the museum before reaching the snake park, I learned so many things about Kenya's wildlife and history, things I didn't even know before. So it's the kind of experience where you can spend hours without realizing how time has passed. Now let's talk about Mombasa. When I arrived in Mombasa, the first thing I noticed was how different the atmosphere felt compared to Nairobi. The pace was actually slower and the air felt more coastal. The architecture immediately caught my attention. I took a street tour, exploring both the old and the newer part of the city, and walking through the old town felt like stepping into history. The narrow streets, the carved wooden doors, the buildings that have clearly been there for many years. There is a lot of culture in those streets, and sometimes the best way to experience a place is simply by walking through it slowly and observing everything around you. You also need to try food streets, like you will love it. We also talk about the Dhow sunsets I experienced in Mombasa. A Dhow is a traditional wooden boat, and being on it while the sun was setting over the ocean was such a beautiful experience. The water is calm, everywhere is cool, and everything feels quiet in the best possible way. It's the kind of moment where you just allow time to just pass through you. And honestly, after exploring, that peaceful sunset was actually something I appreciated. Then there is Lamu Old Town. When I visited Lamu, the experience felt different from when I visited the other cities. This island have a very unique charm. There are barely cars and people move around using bike, donkey, or just walk with their legs. Life feels slower on Lamu Island. I spent it walking through Lamu Old Town, which is actually a UNESCO heritage site. The streets are also narrow, and you can just feel the history and culture, the way the town is built. It's the kind of place you don't rush, you just walk, observe, and enjoy the atmosphere and the food. One of the activities you don't want to miss when you're in Lamu is the snorkeling. And yes, I tried it. And if you have never snorkeled before, just like me, before I finally did, it's such an interesting experience. Because there you are floating in the water, looking down, and you can see fishes swimming around you. Very beautiful sight. It was a very peaceful but exciting moment at the same time. You realize that a whole lot of water underwater you'll never see. Some things in Lamu that I didn't personally try because some things came up, but yes, I was referred to that and I was looking forward to experiencing it because I knew it would be so much fun, was the floating boat party. Apparently everybody who visits Lamu experience it at least once, or the bonfire nights. You know, partying on the boat, there is music, there is drink, people dancing and vibing. It's a whole vibe, floating on the ocean. I was sad because I didn't get to experience that, and they just told me what it's usually like. So if you are planning a trip to Lamu, you should definitely put the floating boat party on your list, because next time I'm definitely experiencing it. And lastly, I want to talk about the activity in Diani. I don't know if there was much things to do in Diani, even though I only spent 2 days there. But yes, after waking up to the sun and then enjoying myself in Diani Beach, I decided to try something completely different, ziplining, which have always been something I wanted to experience. Now, let me be honest, for some reason in my head, ziplining looked graceful, cool, kind of like an action movie scene when you see people doing that, yeah? So first, they will put you in this harness, and I swear, I felt like I was being wrapped in some kind of futuristic spaghetti. I'm standing there thinking, okay, am I sure this is safe? Because my entire life flashed before my eyes just before trying this. What do you mean I have to walk across there? And then I had to climb the platform. Climbing all of this, I felt like this baby girl that is trying to take a step for the first time. I'm holding on and saying to myself, this is fine. It's fine. Then another thought, oh wait, what if this is not fine? Then came the actual zip line. The moment I stepped up off the platform, wow, in that moment you don't even think about anything. You just scream. I screamed and I screamed, and then I laughed. The wind in your face, the beauty of the beach, the whole place, and the speed. Equal parts terrifying and hilarious. There was even a point where I tried to pose for these Instagram photos, but it wasn't funny. And after landing, the landing, it was gentle and smooth. It felt like I was going to crush into the bush, but then I had the experience of my life I always wanted to. And trust me, it was beautiful. It was an amazing experience. It was so much fun. Trying something new like that reminded me of how important it is to say yes to adventures, even if you are slightly scared. With all this being said, this is a wrap on my whole Kenya adventure. And if you're thinking about visiting Kenya this year, I honestly hope my video gave you some ideas, because there is really something for everyone. Whether you want adventure, culture, relaxation, or just a good laugh like I had in that zip line. And hey, if you're a Kenyan watching this, tell me in the comments which other places I should actually visit next time, and I just pick your suggestions and take it seriously. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and also please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and engage on this video, and make sure you watch my other travel videos, because honestly there are so many other adventures coming your way and you don't want to miss it. Until next time, I remain my humble self, Ami the explorer. So keep exploring, keep laughing, and remember, sometimes the best stories are the one we didn't plan for. See you.